Good evening. Welcome to the Cowboys Stadium in Arlington, Texas for Brazil against Mexico. Another prestigious international friendly here on ESPN. It's the third such game in a week for Brazil, who were impressive enough against Denmark last weekend, but they showed further improvement when dispatching 4 goals past the USA on Wednesday evening. The formalities, as always, start with the national anthems, and firstly that of Brazil. The game being played in Arlington, Texas, not a million miles away from the Mexican border, and that explains why there are just so many passionate Mexican supporters here tonight, outnumbering their Brazilian counterparts by about 2 or 3 to 1 in a crowd of just less than 80,000. Brazil unchanged from the side that beat the USA on Wednesday. Neymar, who was brought into that team after club commitments, takes his place in a formidable forward 3 that also includes Chelsea target Hulk. Hulk, one of 3 so-called overage players in this team, which is a possible starting 11 for the Olympics next month. Mexico include 3 English-based players, with Javier Hernandez coming back into the team, having scored the last-minute winner against Bosnia during the week. Tottenham's Giovanni Dos Santos will play behind him, with West Ham's Pablo Barrera likely to play on the right. Recent Valencia signing Andres Guardado is also included. And plenty of strength on the bench as well. Former Tottenham loanee Bruno Avini is centre-half amongst those on the bench for Brazil. And the officials tonight from Canada. Brazil have taken their current winning streak to 8 games, an excellent build-up ahead of the London Olympics. This, the squad that Mano Menezes is set to name for the games next month. As for Mexico, they too are in the final stages of preparation. Their World Cup qualifiers start on Friday against Guyana. They too are playing their 3rd game of the week. So far, they've seen off both Wales and Bosnia without necessarily hitting the heights in either game. So tonight there is scope for improvement in what will undoubtedly be the toughest of their 3 matches this week. Menezes has been beaten as a Brazilian coach only 3 times in 23 internationals. Mind you, it's opposite number Chepo de la Torre. His record isn't much worse than that. Only 5 defeats for him in his 23 games in charge. It's been an excellent World Tour that Brazil have embarked upon, with the games against Denmark in Germany, the United States here in the USA tonight, and then they take on Argentina in New Jersey this coming Friday, which is another very prestigious game, that goes without saying, which time Mexico will be in action in their World Cup qualifiers at the same time. There's Neymar, a man that Pelé said the Seleção should build the team around. And a young goalkeeper of some repute as well tonight, Rafael, who made his debut in the win against the USA on Wednesday. His opposite number, Jose Corona, hasn't played a competitive international for nearly 7 years, but he's recalled tonight, so a big night for him too. Familiar side of Javier Hernandez offering prayer before the game starts. By their own high standards, Brazilian football has been going through the doldrums in recent years. They've been ranked outside the top 5 in the world for a while, but they have assembled a squad of prodigiously talented youngsters that seems to prove that the future for the Seleção is once again extremely bright. The next generation of Brazilian superstar in action again here this evening, with reputations to enhance and another notable scout to take. Both countries in their customary colours, with the Mexicans in the green shirts defending the end away to our right-hand side. Alongside me, Jim Proudfoot, is Tony Dorigo. Tony, Brazil have really caught the eye in those 2 games that they played over the course of the week. But it's fair to say that they are improving, and improving quickly now.
Well, they most certainly are, and of course, with the youngsters coming to this side, getting a lot of confidence, and that's what wins also gives you. But let's not forget, as well as the Olympics coming up, it's the big one in 2014, and that's what they're building towards.
And important that they play against some of the better sides that they can expect to face on home soil, because obviously as hosts of the World Cup they don't have to qualify, and consequently there will be a lack of competitive international action for them over the next couple of years. Important that they make the most of for nights like this one. It's not the first time that these two have met this season, incidentally. Back in Torrejon in Mexico in October, Brazil won by 2-1 in a match in which they trailed for more than an hour. David Luiz's own goal early in that game had given Mexico the lead, but Ronaldinho and Marcelo scored twice in the last 10 minutes to give Brazil a 2-1 victory. No David Luiz because of injury in this Brazilian squad, although he may well be in Mano Menezes 23 for the Olympics themselves. Likely to take the place of Juan, who's playing at centre-half, the Inter Milan defender, rather than the more experienced Roma international. Here's Marcelo. First view of Neymar. Well challenged by Salcido. Started off playing at right back. Scope for Marcelo to bring the ball forward here. Here's Hulk. Trying to work the angle. Full of confidence after another wonderful season with Porto. Marcelo on his weaker foot couldn't hit the target.
You just saw glimpses, didn't you, of the Brazilian strength down the wings with Neymar initially and Hulk there coming in his left foot. And Marcelo, certainly that swinging right foot isn't his strength. I can certainly sympathise.
Yeah, you left backs love a right-footed shot, don't you?
Not.
Did score against the USA the other night, Marcelo, a 4-1 victory, which was a hugely impressive result. And I know that it's something that the Mexicans have been talking about coming into this game. They see that tonight will be a barometer of how they're doing in comparison to the USA, who of course are their chief rivals in CONMEBOL, in qualifying for the next World Cup. They have beaten the USA 3 times out of 4 since the last World Cup. I certainly would hope that tonight we'll see them put up a much better display than the USA did on Wednesday. The Brazilians won't be too used to this outside of Argentina. in an atmosphere where the vast majority of the crowd don't want them to win. Doesn't happen very often. Here's Danilo, one of the European-based players, having recently made his move to Porto, and now Thiago Silva, undoubtedly one of the top centre-halves in Serie A.
I think certainly with regard to the atmosphere, this Brazilian side over the years really have played all around the world with us. Africa, Europe, the Middle East. I think their players have so much experience of different atmospheres. I'm sure they'll be fine, but fullback there certainly isn't fine.
And it's Meza who's gone down.
Neymar coming in there, foot raised. In this day and age, you certainly can't do that. He's a talent though, isn't he? He really is a talent. Looking forward to seeing how he performs today, because I've heard so much about him, seen him in glimpses, but he's a young player yet to reach his full potential. He really could be an exciting prospect for the next decade or so at least.
High hopes for that young man as well. Severo Meza, the right back for Mexico, who made his debut against Wales last weekend. Third cap for him tonight. Salcido playing as one of the defensive midfielders in a 4-2-3-1 formation. Marcelo. Now Oscar. Danilo invited forward. Sandro. Marcelo just finding he's got to come back in defensive duties now. They've got the ball in behind him into that vacant left-back area. Barrera supplying the pass. Well covered though by Juan.
Certainly looked pacey, didn't they? A big, strong defender. And I think he certainly is aware that Marcelo, when he does go forward, is going to have to cover that left-back spot.
Sandro just inviting a little bit of pressure on his fellow defenders. Thiago Silva is the player that was able to get the ball away. Danilo surviving the stumble to find Oscar. He's got his work cut out tonight. Taking on Neymar. Zavala with the challenge, and then Meza putting the ball out of play past Oscar for a Brazilian throw. And Brazil with the majority of possession and in good areas as well inside the opening stages of the game, as you would expect. Leandro Damião. Marcelo again venturing forward, this time conceding the free kick.
Well, that left-hand side, Mexico really have to be concerned with Neymar. Marcelo flying forward. I think clearly the fullback has his work cut out, but Salcido, I think he's been put in there today, certainly as the insurance policy is sitting just in front of the two centre-halves, but also when he finds some danger, he'll go out and help the right back, he'll help the left back, and that is so important. Just try and block those spaces and really try and keep the wide men quiet for Brazil, but it's easier said than done.
A little bit of retribution perhaps from Meza there. Caught 2 or 3 minutes ago by a raised foot from Neymar. Dished out one of his own there. Here's Oscar. He made an impressive full debut against Denmark last weekend. For Thiago Silva. Danilo caught out of position. Covering from Moreno, who is the left side of the two centre-halves, playing alongside Stuttgart's Maza Rodriguez. Torres long ball forward. First chance for Javier Hernandez. John just held station on the edge of the penalty area. There was no real contact coming in from him.
No, unfortunately, he just tripped over his feet, but that's what Hernandez gives you. It's that out ball. He really has got pace to burn. And normally, when it's in those sort of positions, he does a little bit better, but that's important with Brazil pushing forward, having a lot of possession. When Mexico do get the ball, got to stretch them. And with Hernandez, they can certainly do that.
Marcelo for Neymar. Running with pace and purpose at that Mexican back line. Salcido is the player that ultimately will be able to get it away with the help of Meza. Juan. He's on the books of Inter Milan, but is yet to make his debut for the club. Oscar for Danilo. Romulo. Now Hulk. And Daniel's offside. Doesn't count.
But it's beautiful movement, isn't it? Patient play. I really did like the look of Oscar as well. He looked so comfortable in possession, but when you see the ball from Hulk, oh, I think he looks onside there. The wrong decision, but I think it's just the pace of the play, isn't it? He thinks he should be offside because he's 2 or 3 yards clear, but it isn't. It's a beautiful run. An excellent ball through.
Well, the left back Torres Nilo did appear to play him onside. Marginal call. Maza Rodriguez, who really gives the experience in this Mexican back line. A World Cup qualifying campaign starting on Friday. Not the most arduous task to get out of this stage for them. It's actually the third qualifying stage in the CONMEBOL region, the first that they've been in. They face Guyana, El Salvador and Costa Rica, and the top 2 qualify. I think they'll be all right. Here's Guardado, who will be at Valencia next season. Thiago Silva did enough. In fact, a corner's been given. The referee initially pointed towards the goal kick, but his assistant was vehemently flagging.
I think Guardado will be delighted with that. Didn't seem to take any sort of deflection. Thiago Silva, like any good defender does, shepherded him down to the line, knew what he wanted to do. Put the leg out, but didn't touch it.
First corner of the game. Herrera will be hoping that there are better to come. Here's Salcido. Back for Barrera. It's had a frustrating time since moving to West Ham, Pablo Barrera. A couple of dozen games for the club without scoring. He spent last season on loan in Spain at Real Zaragoza. Don't know yet whether he features in Sam Allardyce's plans for next season.
Certainly Hernandez, he has been the star Mexican coming to the Premier League. Dos Santos, of course, hasn't quite worked out for him either, but certainly got some talented players.
There'll be a good battle tonight. Juan, as we said, has very little experience. He's played less than 30 senior games at club level.
That's a big ask coming into the Brazilian side with the pressure that brings. But at the moment, he's certainly equipped himself pretty well. He looks a physical sort, very quick, and reached the game. Let's see how he gets on.
He made his Serie A debut on the last day of the season as a very late substitute. He'd been loaned from Inter Milan to Navarra. Couldn't get in their team. Navarra ultimately relegated. Making the most of the chance that he's been given by David Luiz's injury. Poor challenge from Torres Nilo will be punished by the Canadian referee Petrescu.
Well, it was a late challenge, certainly dangerous, but thankfully Romelu gets straight back up, but the Brazilians are looking lively, aren't they? Down the flanks especially. I mean, they really are sharp when they get on that ball. Hulk, I mean, he does look quick, strong. And sometimes you get these quick players that you can kind of brush them off the ball if you're a defender, but with Hulk you certainly can't.
Lovely in-swinging delivery. The goalkeeper did well, Corona, to punch it clear. And Mexico, who are very adept at the counter-attack, now have the opportunity to bring the ball forward, but Salcido's pass was hugely disappointing.
They're obviously better in possession there, because when they do get that break, there really is a chance with Brazilian players steaming forward. Hernandez there couldn't quite get on the end of it. Ever-willing runner, he will be, no doubt.
Mexican football hasn't been without problem over the last year or so. In the Gold Cup last year, 5 players were suspended after reports that they tested positive for a banned substance. And then at the Copa America, 8 players were sent home in disgrace after importing ladies of the night into the team hotel. So they were under strength anyway, because they'd sent an under-22 team to that competition, 8 of whom couldn't play. And they ended up losing all 3 games. Here's Hulk. Excellent piece of defending by Maza Rodriguez. Marcelo. I find too many Brazilian internationals who haven't got a trick up their sleeve.
Even the fullbacks. Well, even the centre-halves. I mean, we've seen some wonderful players, haven't we, over the years for Brazil. And the galloping Lucio as well from the back, who can beat 2 or 3 on his way forward. And that's the thing about these Brazilian players. I was very fortunate to play against them twice in my career, and we all notice the beautiful silky skills that they've got. But I tell you what, they've got some work rate and they've got strength as well. And when they put all that together, they can be very formidable.
Hernandez is offside this time. You take those Copa America defeats out of the equation for Mexico. When they have fielded a genuine first team, they've actually only lost 2 of the last 22 internationals. It's a statistic that perhaps isn't borne out by a fall over the last few years in the FIFA World Ranking. They've been up in the top 10 for a while. They now find themselves just in the 20. Here's Danilo, who's seen as the long-term replacement for Maicon at right back for the Seleção. Marcelo and Neymar just at cross purposes there, and Marcelo diving in once more. That left-back area needs covering when he ventures forward. It's Sandro of Tottenham who came across to do it then.
That's the thing, I think, so disciplined. And Sandro needs to be aware, same as he won the centre half, but Mexico need to try and get some passes together. They're stringing 1 or 2 now, but it really has been all counter-attack really for Mexico at the moment. Brazil well in control.
Salcido, who won his 100th cap on Thursday. Cuadrado's an interesting player. He helped Deportivo win the Spanish second division this season, but has signed for Valencia on a Bosman. Played at each of the last 2 World Cups. It's his 80th cap tonight at the age of only 25. Foot raised there by Leandro Damião. Now Torres Nilo. Hulk. This time it's the Mexican back line that's lost its shape. The Hulk taking on all comers. The angle is tight. Maza Rodriguez with the challenge. He's claiming he was having his shirt pulled. Hulk cannot believe that he hasn't got a penalty.
Well, what a fantastically strong run it was. He got away from the first 2. And Rodriguez, not sure how much of the ball he gets. He is nice and direct. There's not even half a challenge. He shoulder barges him out the way. Certainly knocks him down. Good positive play from Hulk.
Romilo. Marcelo drilling it straight at Barrera. Quickly winning it back and then losing possession and possibly picking up an injury in the process. The referee has allowed play to go on, acknowledging there was a foul on Marcelo. It's Cuadrado. Torres Nilo making his way forward from left back outside him. Giovanni Zavala. Hulk blocked off again. Ball finds its way through for Neymar, who's got Leandro Damião lurking with intent inside the penalty area. Fantastic crossfield ball, picking out Giovanni Dos Santos. What can the Tottenham man do here? Well, he couldn't really be asked to do much more than that. You're going to have to go a long way to see a goal of that kind of quality. An instinctive piece of play from Giovanni Dos Santos, giving Mexico the lead. And it is a quite sublime piece of skill.
What a breathtaking chip that is. Initially it was a beautiful crossfield ball, fully 40-50 yards, but when Dos Santos gets the ball, he's just chipping it to that far stick. And his technique was just tremendous. That's what he can do. We haven't seen enough of him over the last few years, but what talent he's got, he's reminded everyone about it. Keeper can only look at that one. Hit the post and back of the net.
He scored his first goal in 11 games against Bosnia on Thursday. Follows it up with the 13th international goal of his career midway through the first half to give Mexico the lead against the run of play. Hulk unable to replicate the quality from Giovanni Dos Santos at the other end.
I was just about to say what sort of response we're going to get from Brazil, and I'm sure it will be just a timely one, and they'll keep their passing going. You're going to see Hulk smash one from 40 yards, absolutely nowhere, but Menendez there, he will certainly be stunned by that goal. It was a tremendous goal, but let's see what sort of response he gets out of his side. They really have been beating all comers quite comfortably. The support that Mexico has got inside this stadium make it that much more difficult.
Now Neymar Marcelo, as ever, so willing to become an extra attacker. Try to bulldoze his way inside the penalty area. Maza Rodriguez very calmly, with the aid of Salcedo, clears his lines. Hernandez is found offside again.
I think now that Mexico have got the lead as well, they can actually sit back, try and soak up some pressure, and then these sorts of areas, play that long ball, because you certainly know that Hernandez will always be trying to get in behind, and if Brazil switch off again, they could be in trouble. They usually get back to their passing game. The first 10-15 minutes, Oscar was on the ball and really dictating things, and the last 5 or 10 not really been in the game.
No doubt the goal came at the end of Mexico's best spell of pressure in the game so far. Torres Nilo gives the free kick away.
So the challenge, it's certainly a free kick. I'm impressed with the referee actually. He's let quite a few challenges go that normally you think may, in this modern era, certainly get pulled up, but he wants to see the game free flowing, and for that, I mean, the players have to help him as well. When they do get challenged, they can just get up and get on with it. And on they go.
Hulk. Moreno. Ball clearance by Corona under pressure. Very nearly succumbed to that pressure. Excellent play by Oscar. He always guaranteed picking up the ball in that kind of area that he's going to have excellent movement ahead of him.
They certainly are, but the Mexicans are filling those spaces really well at the back as well, and Oscar drifts past one, drifts past two. The run was there, but the Mexicans certainly at the back so far with Salcedo just sitting in there, reading those runs pretty well. It's now turning into an absorbing tie really, with any Mexicans scoring first makes it just that much more interesting. Brazil certainly comfortable on the ball, but possession is one thing, goals are another.
Neymar. A number of passes have gone astray in that kind of area that they haven't been able to thread through. The eye of the needle being made to look very small by the organisation of this Mexican back line. Play by Oscar again, this time finding Leandro Damião. Good time for Rodriguez. Romulo. Torres Nilo, the left back, emerging with possession. He's done more than that, as he finds Giovanni Dos Santos, the goal scorer, taking on Juan. Might have had the beating of him. Romulo made sure that that would only be academic. It's not hit the heights in English football. A couple of goals, all he's got to show for 30-odd games at Spurs. A more impressive loan spell at Ipswich in the Championship for Giovanni Dos Santos. So the Tottenham goals have come against Shamrock Rovers and Cheltenham Town.
Which is not a great reward, certainly for the talent that he's got. Had a reminder tonight, certainly, of his talent. It's a fantastic goal. What better team to do it against than the mighty Brazil?
Not too many players in History will have scored against both Cheltenham and Brazil in the same season.
I'd hazard a guess there is no one else.
Neymar. Salcido.
I think certainly Brazil have to look, left and right, go around the flanks, because that ball into the middle, it's playing into the strength of Mexico, certainly. I think Moreno and Rodriguez at the back, they look pretty confident. So what you have to try and do is certainly get around the back of them. So maybe Marcelo on the left or Delino on the right. Try and get the fullbacks up there as well, because going through the middle it seems lots of green shirts in the way.
Sandro. Neymar was on the way down before the ball came back to him, but he recovered very well. And Marcelo's shot is deflected wide.
That's what I thought it was as well, but right footer, that one was certainly closer, not harmlessly wide.
Friendlies are going to be crucial over the next couple of years for Mano Menezes, which more in a moment as Guardado gets on the end of a clever little flick here. That's exactly the same position from that which Giovanni Dos Santos scored. Instead he went for the drilled cross and wins a corner.
Well, at least he put it in the right area, certainly 6 yards out, hard and low across the box. Just waiting for one of his strikers to nip in front of the defender.
Second corner of the game taken short. Guardado. Holt just finding himself back in a defensive capacity at the moment. Dos Santos, penalty. Just came in from the blind side of Sandro, who was oblivious to his presence, and having scored one, he's now won a penalty to give Mexico a chance to double their lead.
And it certainly was a penalty. Juan just hangs out the left leg, and he actually did it 5 minutes earlier as well. He then got his right leg inside the box. He got away with that one. Well, he doesn't get away with this one. If you're going to make a challenge in the box, you've got to make sure you get some of the ball. Juan certainly did not do that.
And only his second international, Rafael has a chance to make a name for himself. Involved in a penalty shootout in the Copa Libertadores 10 days ago, in which he acquitted himself brilliantly. And what can he do against Hernandez? 2-0 Mexico lead, and Brazil on the back of a winning streak of 8 find themselves in real trouble here in Texas.
What a cool penalty this was, with the keeper going left and right across the goal. He hits it hard and low. Rafael gets the right way, but even he couldn't get there. Now we've got a game on.
Hernandez's 25th goal for Mexico in 36 internationals. Excellent record, 2-2 for him, having netted a 90th minute winner against Bosnia the other night. Part of the learning curve for Mano Menezes, and more significantly for his players, will be how they deal with adversity. You're a Brazilian player, by and large, you probably haven't trailed in as many games as your European counterparts might have done. So this will be a valuable lesson for them, whether they can play their way out and stick to their footballing principles, or whether they become more insular and panic.
I think certainly the manager will learn a lot about those players. That's exactly right, because this is one sort of pressure, but you can guarantee in the years running up to the World Cup, that is just going to grow and grow and grow. And Brazil playing in their homeland, we know exactly what they expect, and that's to win the thing. So I need players that can cope with that sort of pressure. And this is just a learning curve. Firstly the Olympics, and then to the World Cup.
Neymar. Brazil win their first corner. It's taken them 35 minutes. Neymar's delivery. The goalkeeper got himself stranded. He was beaten by the header, which also beat the frame of the goal.
Well, it's certainly a wonderful ball in. Now we see Damião. He comes off his shoulder, the keeper absolutely nowhere. Salcido's not sure where that's going, but thankfully it goes over for Mexico. But they've made an excellent start going into a 2-goal lead. Very impressive. Didn't see much of the football certainly in the first 15-20 minutes, but on the counter they have been pretty good indeed.
Now Hulk. Second corner in quick succession is the only reward for Brazil.
And Torres Nilo actually does really well just to stand up, not commit himself.
Mexico dealing with this one much more effectively, and might be the catalyst for another counter-attack that was none too subtle from Sandro. Two players who know each other very well, of course, Tottenham teammates. And Sandro made sure that Dos Santos wasn't getting past him.
He certainly wasn't, was he? Put his body in the way. The ball's going to get past. Dos Santos, you're not. You're 2-0 up, and you can hear the crowd behind this Mexican side as well.
How do you think the Guyana scouts are feeling at this particular moment ahead of the World Cup qualifier with Mexico on Friday?
Worried. Very worried indeed. No, it's pretty impressive for the Mexicans. They've been very well organised, clearly, as well, because to try and stop a Brazilian attack, Damião, Hulk and Neymar, you have to be very well organised. They're going to come at you from all different angles, and they've done that well. Maybe given the ball away on 1 or 2 occasions, but when they have broke forward, they've got quality as well.
Where do you think Brazil have been going wrong so far? Individual error, of course, for the penalty for the second goal.
I think certainly when Brazil get the ball in that middle third of the pitch, when they play quickly and at pace, they certainly look a lot better. But if they start taking too many passes across left and right, what Mexico do then is they get back, they get well organised, and it's just very, very difficult. And I think Brazil certainly have tried to go through the middle a little too much. I try and get the fullbacks now overlapping, try and drag the players out. Danilo, we haven't seen him down this right-hand side at all. And if you think of the great Brazilian sides, and they played against one pretty good right-back in Cafu, well, I tell you what, he was like on his motorbike up and down there, which made it very difficult. At the moment, I think he's not causing the Mexicans any problems, and it's just that much easier for them.
I think Cafu talks about playing against you in a similar vein.
Probably not, really, but no, he's an exceptional player, and he's got so many caps for Brazil, and it's a joy to play against him. Certainly a learning curve for me.
Here's Oscar. Sandro. Hulk shown inside onto his left foot. It was an excellent subsequent block that came in from Guardado. It's another Brazilian corner, 3 they've had in 3 minutes now.
And that's what you're finding, certainly, when the wide men do get it. They double up, try and help out their fullback, and there, Guardado knew Hulk wanted to get onto his left foot, threw himself in the way, and good block.
Neymar's corner again, the goalkeeper came out, and this time he got something on it. And the ball has hit Marcelo on the arm, so it's a free kick for the handball.
You can see as the ball's coming out, Corona really to try and get the punches high and away, but got away with that one.
Nilo trying to con the referee. He lost possession. Oscar's crossfield ball intended for Marcelo didn't get there. Cut out by Zavala. Now Guardado. Giovanni offside.
You see again, always just looking to get beyond the defence, into those channels. It's just about, but Thiago Silva, very experienced player. I do think he's one of the best centre-halves in world football at the moment. A very important player with that experience at the back. Certainly he'll be the rock defensively they build on going forward.
Well, they got him at the 3rd time of asking.
Just about. I think Neymar throughout his career is pretty used to that sort of thing. He knows when it's coming. And there's this theatrical dive to go with it as well. However, Zavala, who's done a good job in that midfield, had 1 nibble, 2 nibble, and couldn't help himself to have another one.
Sandro. Again, Mexico on the counter-attack, picking the right ball at the right time. Hernandez couldn't do that. Thiago Silva starts an instant inquest amongst the Brazilian back line. Not punished that time. Good turn by Hulk. He's never been short of upper body strength. Oscar got himself into a shooting position, and Corona makes the save.
Well, that was an excellent save as well. High up to his left, but he just drifts onto his right foot. It's going away from the goalkeeper as well, but a lovely balanced player. Slices across the ball. It's heading for the top corner.
Hulk's delivery. Back in from Marcelo. Away by Moreno. And once more with Brazil flooding so many bodies forward inside the penalty area to attack a set piece. Mexico had the opportunity to bring it away quickly. Couldn't make the most of that with Guardado. And now Brazil have a free kick of their own. A foul by Maza Rodriguez.
I think you're right. Certainly Brazil, they flood men forward, don't they, when set pieces are there. Mexico win it back. Having some quick players up front, they look at their most dangerous, and 2-0, it's a risky strategy from Brazil. They're backing their own qualities and judgment and attacking Mexico.
This breakout was something that we saw in the Copa America. Very simple, very effective. Good tool for the referee.
It is.
That's your 10 yards, boys. Don't come further forward than the line. Oh, leaves it for Neymar. Salcido's been excellent so far tonight, and it was another impressive piece of defending from him. Now Hernandez, trying to get the better of Marcelo. Marcelo able to take a slightly shorter route towards the ball, and that was what made all the difference. Hulk. Neymar. Final minute of the first 45. Brazil trying to halve their deficit before the break. Marcelo wins a throw from Barreto. One extra minute deemed necessary by the Canadian referee. Sandro. Neymar. Danilo wins the corner, barely time to take it.
Well, at last they finally get one of their fullbacks up wide in some sort of space, because there was too many short passes in that middle area.
Here comes from Hulk. And volley towards goal. An instinctive save from Corona at his near post. I think it was Juan that he denied.
It was an excellent save, and he almost made amends for his mistake, giving him the penalty away, Juan. One-foot volley, struck it well, on target. Good save.
In from Neymar with more pace this time, and a rare aberration in terms of control from Hulk. No point in arguing about which way the throw's gone. No time to take it anyway. And Mexico at half-time in Arlington lead by 2-0. Giovanni and then Hernandez from the penalty spot, giving the Mexicans a 2-goal advantage, and one that they will feel is merited. Brazil 0, Mexico 2 at half-time.
Dwayne Wade. Paul Pierce. Collide in Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals. The march to the finals continues. Heat. Celtics. Live today on ESPN.
Hello there. Pep Guardiola has come to the end of his very successful years as Barcelona manager. To say it was a success would be one of the understatements of this century. Guardiola won La Liga 3 times. He also took home Europe's biggest prize, the Champions League, twice. He's won a couple of Copa del Reys. He's also added Spanish Super Cups, World Club Championships. They're all there. And keep this in mind. This was all achieved in a very short space of time, having taken over at Barcelona the 2008-2009 season. And as the 2012 season is finished, he has already flown the coop. Lots of questions are being bandied around as to where and when Pep may show up again. I would venture to say no matter what you have seen or no matter what you have read, the only person who knows for sure what he is thinking is Pep himself. That's the way it should be. After his success, we know for sure there will be many who want to avail of him. In the meantime, we wish him all the best. That's what's in the All Onion Bag this week, and I'm Tommy Smith with a Y.
It is spectacularly entertaining. How nitro works in a top fuel dragster. Get ready for raw speed and power. NHRA, it's louder on ESPN.
See what they can do as we get ready to drop the game.
We should expect a thoroughly entertaining match.
Lay it all on the line tonight.
They are in our way. So now it's personal.
And if you're just joining us, you're here at just the right time.
Did he get enough for this one? She's gone. He's done it again.
Was simply sensational.
First time ever at the X Games. Victory for Velasco. Ivanovic! Rudy for the win. Yes! 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 Oh, terrific try for Jonathan Davies and Wales.
This is June on ESPN. X Games Los Angeles 2012. Major League Baseball.
Back it goes. It is gone.
Argentina versus Brazil.
An extraordinary effort.
The NBA Draft. Friday Night Fights.
And this fight is over.
And the NBA Finals.
Kevin Durant flies up the sky.
This is June on ESPN.
ESPN presents Moments in Baseball, a monthly look at history in the making on and off the field.
Play ball.
On June 2nd, 1935, baseball legend Babe Ruth announced his retirement at the age of 40. 2 years prior, United States President Franklin Roosevelt authorized the first swimming pool to be built inside the White House. Moments in Baseball collide with history all season long, only on ESPN.
The hard-hitting action of Friday Night Fights continues this Saturday on ESPN2. In the main event, former middleweight champion Kelly the Ghost Pavlik continues his comeback as he takes on Scott Cujo Sigmund in this 10-round super middleweight bout from Las Vegas. Plus, the latest boxing news from around the world, commentary, and interviews. Friday Night Fights, live Saturday on ESPN2. Every matchup, expectations rise. Each possession, tension thickens. Every second is a chance to shine. NBA Tonight, all season long on ESPN.
Welcome back to the Cowboys Stadium in Arlington, Texas, where Mexico lead Brazil by 2-0 at halftime. A surprising statistic, perhaps, but over the balance of the 45 minutes, I'm sure that Mexico will feel that their lead is a deserved one. Alongside me, Jim Bradford, is former England defender Tony DeRigo. Tony, in the opening 10-20 minutes or so, Brazil with a better team, created chances, and had the ball in the net when Leandro Damião was wrongly, we think, flagged offside.
Yeah, certainly the possession that Brazil had in the first part of the game was very impressive indeed, and just the pace of this run from Damião caught the linesman out, and that should have been given a goal, but however, it wasn't, and back Mexico came.
Holkers looked dangerous, the man who's set to side for Chelsea, going down inside the penalty area, but not winning a penalty. The referee got that one right.
I think so. It was a good positive run again from Holt. Very strong in possession. And then Rodriguez, shoulder barge, puts him down. Is that enough for a penalty? Not for me.
Neymar has also been lively. He was excellent against the United States the other night, but lost possession there, and with Mexicans' counter-attacking ability, it proved to be a fatal error. One quick switch of play, a fantastic ball for Giovanni Dos Santos. And how about this for a finish to give Mexico the lead?
Just a wonderful piece of skill, isn't it? And Barrera, the initial ball across to Dos Santos, but still plenty to do. You won't see many better goals than that. Gets it onto his favourite left foot. Just chips it straight over Rafael, who could have absolutely no chance of getting to that one. He turns around in hope more than anything else. All he can do is see in the back of the net.
Second goal in as many games for Giovanni Dos Santos, and they doubled their lead. About 10 minutes later, Juan, the defender who making only his third international appearance, gave away a penalty for that foul on Giovanni Dos Santos.
Well, it really was a poor challenge. If you're going to make a challenge inside the box, you make sure you get the ball. He just hangs out a leg. And the trickery, the quick feet of Dos Santos was too much. He went straight down when contact was made. And it certainly was a penalty.
And that allowed Hernandez the opportunity to score his 25th international goal. An expertly taken penalty, no chance for Rafael in the Brazilian goal. And Mexico found themselves 2-0 up with 12 minutes to go till half-time.
It really was an excellent penalty. Calm and collected, he really gets a goal scorer, Hernandez, and he tucks it away very comfortably indeed.
So it's all about what response we would have from Brazil, and in their credit, they spent most of the next 10 minutes camped inside Mexican territory, albeit that they didn't really create too many tangible opportunities. This was the best one that they had. Hulk, the instigator, and Oscar, who in parts has had an excellent game, forcing a decent save out of Corona.
Now, Oscar certainly looks a very good player on the ball, but they haven't got him on the ball quite enough. But the skill that he's got in that right boot, he just drifts onto his favoured right side. He lets fly, cuts across the ball. It's going into that top corner. Corona makes a good save.
And then right at the end of the half, Juan, who gave the penalty away, came pretty close to getting one back for Brazil. An instinctive save by Corona at the near post.
I think really when the ball comes across, left foot, it's an excellent volley, hit the target.
So Brazil with work to do, but Mano Menezes will certainly feel that there's plenty to prove from this side and that they have the talent to be able to do it. Join us again on ESPN, the second half coming next.
The water for me is an incredible element. Being underneath the water is even more incredible than that. We live our lives either in the future or in the past, but when we're in the water, there's only that moment. Freediving is a sport where you hold your breath and try and go as deep as possible. I specialize in constant weight no fins, which is purely your body and the water. So you only use your hands and feet to swim down and swim back up to the surface. Growing up in New Zealand, we lived on a sailboat, so our family pretty much sold everything to buy a boat and to sail across the seas and do a lot of exercises which increase the flexibility of the lungs and the rib cage that house the lungs, and the diaphragm underneath the rib cage, which we also use for breathing. As negative buoyancy starts to take hold of my body and I enter into the free fall, I give myself the command to shut down all thoughts, all muscular contraction. Everything shuts down to the point where I'm just a speck of consciousness sinking into the abyss.
Hey, this is Justin Timberlake.
This is Kobe Bryant.
I'm Samuel L. Jackson.
This is Jamie Foxx.
I'm Jeremy Piven.
Big Snoop Dogg.
I'm Blake Griffin.
Gerard Butler.
This is Patrick Kane.
This is Spike Lee.
Kelly Slater.
David Beckham.
Terrell Suggs.
I'm Jamie McMurray.
I'm Ashton Kutcher.
I'm Tim Tebow.
I'm Sugar Shane Mosley.
Hey, Lucas Neves.
I'm Nick Jonas from the Jonas Brothers.
I'm Venus Williams.
Stephen Curry.
Tony Hawk.
And you're watching
Sports Center.
Sports Center.
Sports Center.
Sports Center.
Sports Center.
Shout-out.
Russell Westbrook and the Thunder take on Manu Ginobili and the amazing Spurs in Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals. A spot in the finals is one step closer. Thunder Spurs, live Tuesday on ESPN, the home of the Western and Eastern Conference Finals.
Checking in.
Your name, please.
Michael Jordan.
Oh.
Michael Jordan, 8 o'clock?
Oh.
That's me.
Oh. Oh.
Man. How you doing?
Really? Let's go.
Here in the ESPN SoccerNet Press Pass studios, time to answer some viewer mail. Tommy Smith and Steve Nicol here to do just that. The question from Zambia, quite a simple one. Who is going to win Euro 2012, Steve?
Well, everyone's favourite seems to be Spain, but I quite like the look of France. I think they have a good mix. You know, they've got plenty of experience in Lloris, you know, Ribéry, Benzema up top, and they've got some unexpected names back in there, and Ben Arfa and Kabay. So I think they've been good in the qualifying campaign. They pretty much strolled through their group. A little hiccup, which is always good in the warm-up games. I think they'll do well.
Tommy?
Well, I'm going for Germany. Obviously, I picked them in the last Euros. They didn't succeed in the last Euros, but I think this is a better team. They've got a lot of youth on it, and I think Schweinsteiger has a big role to play here. France
and Germany, excellent question. Get yours in via Twitter at ESPN Press Pass.
The hard-hitting action of Friday night fights continues this Saturday on ESPN2. In the main event, former middleweight champion Kelly the Ghost Pavlik continues his comeback as he takes on Scott Cujo Sigmund in this 10-round super middleweight bout from Las Vegas. Plus, the latest boxing news from around the world, commentary and interviews. Friday Night Fights, live Saturday on ESPN2.
We begin today with...
It was perfect throw. Perfect throw. A+.
You have a grade for that?
It's an F. I'll alert the media on that one. See if you can find a dope who'll buy him.
Yes.
Don't miss Pardon the Interruption, only on ESPN.
Welcome back to Arlington. Brazil 0, Mexico 2 is the halftime score. Brazil back in action in an international friendly this coming Saturday night at 7:45. The game kicks off. They take on Argentina in New Jersey, and you can see it live here on ESPN. Well, these are the two goals that they've conceded in the first half. Giovanni Dos Santos at the heart of both of them. A sublime chip for the goal that made it 1-0. Quite magnificent piece of play, and clearly he meant it. There was no one making a run towards the far post that he could have been aiming for. And then he won the penalty. Juan dangling out a left leg, perhaps showing a little bit of inexperience. He's only played 29 senior games for club and country combined before today. And that was dispatched by Hernandez to make it 2. Players coming out for the second half, as you can see. Plenty of experience as well on the Mexican bench. Not least Rafael Marquez, the 7th most capped Mexican of all time, who won 4 league titles in the Champions League with Barcelona and now plays for the Red Bulls in New York, hoping for a 113th cap at some stage in the second half. As though in the early stages, Severo Metzer on the left-hand side of your picture there might have his work cut out tonight, but he's been able to pretty much negate the threat from Neymar and Marcelo in the latter stages, and Torres Nilo has done a good job by and large against Hulk on the other side as well. Alongside me is former England defender Tony Dorigo. Tony, we spotlighted in the early stage of the game how much of a problem Messi might have because of the amount of ball that Marcelo was getting, the good combination between him and Neymar. But he's done very well to deal with it and has been helped by Salcido, who's had an excellent game in defensive midfield position.
Well, I think that's the key. I mean, certainly the wide men taking on their fullbacks one-on-one is one thing, but when you have Salcido coming in to try and lend his support so the fullback can show him inside onto Salcido, or if they do get in behind, the centre-halves are coming across. So it really has been an excellent team defensive unit that has stopped this Brazilian outfit causing more problems. But let's not forget, when the ball's gone forward, this man here has certainly performed a miracle as well. What a fantastic goal he scored, and of course winning inside the penalty as well.
Alex Pato is there to be called upon if necessary. He came off the bench to score against the United States on Wednesday. He scored once in an injury hit 2012 for Milan so far. Player's already scored more than 70 goals for Milan by the age of 22. And decent prospect to come off the bench. real test of their credentials, having been unbeaten in the last 10 games, in which they'd only conceded 4 goals, which gives you an idea of just how impressive Mexico have been on the counter-attack so far tonight. Just 1 defeat in 18. But that man and Giovanni both on the score sheet, as Brazil's winning streak of 8 is in serious jeopardy. Silvio Petrescu, the referee, just checking with both linesmen. So work for Brazil to do. Since this squad was assembled, primarily, of course, all of them under the age of 23, they haven't had too many problems, not too many impediments have been put in their way. Won 8 consecutive friendlies, some of them against largely limited opposition, it has to be said, but they've always been able to get the job done. This could well prove to be their toughest task to date. 45 minutes in order to get back from 2-0 down against a full-strength Mexican side. Hulk on the front foot straight away. Leandro Damião not too far away from being able to turn his cross into the net.
Well, it's an excellent start from Brazil. It's a wonderful ball initially from Marcelo, but Damião there trying to get across his defender, couldn't quite manage it. Didn't see too much of him, did we, in the first half? Hasn't really got the individual skills that Hulk or Neymar may have. However, if you can feed him in the right areas, we know he can score goals.
He's only got the one so far, Leandro Damião, for Brazil, which was the winner against Ghana in September, although he did get a hat-trick at Palmeiras recently. He's a player that has been linked with a move to Liverpool. By and large, a lot of the young Brazilian players now think that they should spend more of the time in the home country. They get maybe 150 games or so behind them in the Brazilian league before being exported to Europe. They saw what happened to Kleberson when he went to Manchester United, and it is known in Brazil as the Kleberson effect. So you get the likes of Lucas Moura, of Neymar, who may well in days gone by have been exported as 17, 18-year-olds, still plying their trade in Brazil in their early 20s and probably becoming better players for it by and large.
And also, of course, the financial aspect is important, and of course 1 or 2 Brazilian clubs with the bigger sponsors now can afford to keep them there that much longer. But certainly the development of these young players is so important. But Neymar here already, lots of caps to his name, and that's what Brazil will be hoping for, that those players can develop. And we'll see yet again another great Brazilian side, because, as you rightly said at the top of the show, Jim, that they have been in the doldrums recently.
But the fact that Brazil are 2-0 up plays into Mexico's hands on the... Sorry, the fact that Mexico are 2-0 up plays into their hands on the counter-attack. Brazilians will be forced to get more bodies forward. And doing so leave bigger spaces. We saw one magnificent crossfield ball from Barrera, which led to Giovanni's first goal tonight. Good defending by Marcelo.
Well, that's actually all Mexico have to do, is just to keep it nice and tight. They've got that 2-goal lead, get well organised, and then on the break try and take another chance, because you'd expect one more chance and that would just be about it. But Brazil have to come forward. They have to put this Mexican side under more pressure than they've shown, because how many times have they actually hit the target in that first half there? So I think that's what they need to improve upon. But all the time when you've got Hernandez and Dos Santos up front that will feed off the mistakes, they could concede again.
Neymar. Oscar fouled by Maza Rodriguez.
Beautiful feet again, isn't it, from Oscar? I think he's going to go down the line. Instead, he Cuts in between the two Mexican players, draws the foul. Now to dangerous area. No doubt Brazil will send up their big men. It'll be a shot. I think Marcelo would like it. We've seen him certainly hit them from extravagant distances.
Oscar. Another chance for Brazil, wasted. Their only defeat this season was against Germany back in August. They've been getting better in recent games and recent displays. They beat Bosnia with a last-minute own goal from Sasa Papac. Hulk then scored twice in a convincing 3-1 win against Denmark in Hamburg. Before Neymar scored one and set up the other two in the 4-1 win against the United States on Wednesday. Criticism of Mano Menezes' men might be their inability to be consistently strong for 90 minutes within games. Good, they can be very good. They will certainly back themselves to be able to get out of the tight corner they find themselves in at the moment.
I think that's also down to experience as well. Obviously this is on the 23 side with 2 or 3 overage players, but I would expect certainly.
As Guardado slips it in for Torres, Nilo! And Hernandez couldn't get the decisive touch. Again, real sharpness around the edge of the penalty area from El Tri.
It certainly was, but Sandro's the one there. Dives back in. Just gets the touch before. The Mexican gets his shot off.
Well, it will be a Mexican corner, but only after Sandro satisfied everybody that he's going to be okay to continue. Juan, who with a good contribution there as well. Also back on his feet. Actually, we're starting with a goal kick. Mexico's only defeat so far this year was against Colombia in late February. Their only other defeat this season against the Brazilians in Torrejon back in October. A reminder that they led that game for a long time, and Brazil might well have a penalty and a chance to get themselves back into the game. It hasn't been given. I think on initial inspection, Tony, Corona is hugely fortunate here.
It's a penalty. He's touched the ball. The keeper's absolutely nowhere near the ball. Quite simply, the referee has made a howler.
Well, Oscar went down easily. And you can see that the inquest is still going on. Sandro having a word with referee Petrescu about it.
Well, he did, but so did Dos Santos in the first half, go down easily. If you're in the box, you make a challenge, you have to get some of the ball. And yes, I understand that he has then fallen down, but the keeper was nowhere near it. He has touched Oscar. Oscar's gone down, rightly so. And that was a penalty, and Brazil now just have to keep their heads. We've already just seen there. The challenge, because just of the frustration, they're 2-0 down. They just saw a chance. They're back to 2-1, slip away.
Just to reiterate, the last time these two sides met, Mexico led from the 10th minute to the 79th, but lost. There's Guardado. Excellent interplay again, and good goalkeeping as well. Rafael acting as sweeper keeper to get the ball away from Guardado.
It's an excellent clearance, but Mexicans certainly aren't just sitting back and hitting on the counter, are they? They're looking to go and grab another one, and maybe that's the trick against the Brazilian side, to keep attacking them.
Aldo de Nigris, who scored twice in the win against Wales last weekend, will come on to replace the man who's scored one and set up the other. Giovanni Dos Santos makes way. De Nigris plays his club football for Monterrey, scored 4 goals in 5 games at last summer's Gold Cup. Averages a goal every other game throughout his international career. Much more of a conventional front man than the man he's replaced. It does look as though he's going to play in a slightly deeper role, though, still in behind Hernandez. Neymar trying to make the most of the long ball forward.
I think it's only the second half. Brazil have gone for that long ball quite early, haven't they? Normally they get it further in midfield and at least try and get to better areas in the last third, but they've been very direct, and you can sense the frustration. That's a poor challenge from Marcelo on Hernandez. And that has to be a yellow card, and rightly so. There's no way of going through the back of someone and getting the ball without taking a yellow card. Poor challenge.
The referee resisted the temptation to show the yellow card in the first half, but nothing he could do about that one. Mandatory yellow card. Marcelo, the first in the book. Six forward, attacking Guardado's free kick here. Hulk. The number 20, Torres Nilo, who won the throw, but possession has quickly been squandered. Mexico winning it back. Rodriguez. Torres Nilo, fouled by Hulk. So they have to make sure that they're not losing their heads as well as losing their way.
I'm very impressed with Torres Nilo. He's certainly dealt with Hulk pretty well, but even more so when he actually has won the ball. He's always wanted to get forward and really make Hulk track back. As a striker, as a wide man, they don't want to do that defending, and Danilo's making him do it.
And De Nigris just retreated from what was deemed to be an offside position there. Certainly wasn't offside when he received the ball, but had been. Let's go back to Torres Nilo. He's only 24. He plays his club football in Mexico with Tigres. He's already won 20 caps and looks the part.
No, he most certainly does, and he's not phased at all. And as I said before, Hulk is a very difficult character to mark. He's very quick, he's very direct, and he's very strong. Torres Nilo has done a fine job. When they have won it back, he's had the confidence to go forward and cause problems on that left-hand side.
Oscar. Neymar finding a little bit of space. Again, Mexico can get it forward quickly. Hernandez, perhaps sensing there weren't too many options ahead of him, just put his foot on the brake, trying to invite a push and win a free kick. Bodies flying in all over the place now, and the referee's got to try and keep a lid on this. It was Damião on Guardado.
It was a late challenge, and Guardado come back and just got a toe poke there, but Damião, to be fair, wasn't too far away from just getting a nick on the ball. However, what he ended up doing was stepping on Guardado's left foot. His new modern boots, hazard a guess, that's quite painful. I think what it also does is just get a break in the game, I think, for both sides, because Mexico, they're 2-0 up, they're very positive now. Just wonder how much is taken out of them, because they really have worked ever so hard defensively and going forward. And Brazil, they really need to regroup. They need to play at a higher tempo, try and get some sort of control in that midfield and feed the front three. Without any sort of service, Damião there in the picture, he just can't score goals. And the wide men, Hulk has been more defensive-minded. He's had to track back the fullback for Mexico. So things have got to change for Brazil to try and get back into this game.
We've got more live international action for you this coming Tuesday on ESPN. France, who of course are England's first opponents at Euro 2012, take on Estonia in their final warm-up game ahead of their trip to Ukraine. And you can see it with an 8 p.m. kickoff Tuesday night, France-Estonia here on ESPN. Back to the here and now. Mexico 2 goals to the good with half an hour remaining. I think many people were impressed, Tony, at how the Brazilians played against the United States the other day, bearing in mind that they played a game in Germany only 4 days previously. Perhaps the workload just beginning to catch up with them now. Alex Pato coming on for Leandro Damião. That's Brazil's first change, a premeditated one, made with an hour ago. Their second change, we'll see Lucas Moura be introduced. Another player who's been linked with Chelsea, invariably on the international stage has been used as a substitute, and he comes on for the Tottenham midfielder Sandro. The double change made by Menezes on the hour.
Well, he needed to shake it up, certainly, didn't he? And he's made the changes. Now can Moura have more sort of effect in that midfield and try and produce 1 or 2 chances for his front men, and Alexander Pato. You know what he's all about. He certainly can score goals. Had an injury hit a few years. He came on the scene so early and young at AC Milan and looked an absolute world beater, but hasn't quite kicked on. I think he just wants a really good, solid, injury-free run. Maybe we'll see the best of him yet.
Excellent crossfield ball to find Hernandez. Denigris. Well, that would have been one of the great goals, a touch of the Van Bastens, as Aldo Denigris tried an extravagant far post volley. It wasn't too far away.
What a fantastic ball across it was from Hernandez. You see exactly what Denigris was trying to do. It was going to be left foot volley into the far top corner. And was only half a yard away. I remember that Van Basten goal very well. Euro 88, I was there. And that was one of the best goals I've ever seen.
Extraordinary goal against Russia.
Exactly, against Russia. Fantastic striker he was. Unfortunately, injury cut his career short a good few years, but absolutely tremendous player. But Denigris there was trying exactly the same thing, and the control as well. He didn't try and blast the ball, he just tried to guide it back across, and it almost went in.
Karim Benzema did it relatively recently, of course, for Real Madrid. It would have been a wonderful goal from Denigris had he got it right, and it would have surely sealed the victory for Mexico. That World Cup qualifier they face on Friday, the first of 16, possibly 18 World Cup qualifiers that they have ahead of them. Good play here by Hulk. And good defending again. L3 so quick to get 7 or 8 green shirts back behind the ball. Not such good play there by Barrera, losing out to Oscar. Neymar with Marcelo making his way forward. He's gone the other way instead.
And that's twice now. Hulk on the right-hand side and Neymar on the left-hand side, gone individually rather than getting that extra pass in. To keep moving that ball, keep working it, but they have upped the pace, haven't they, Brazilians now? They really have stepped on the gas, getting it forward quicker, more pace, more movement. Well, they have to. There's only 27 minutes left to get back in this game.
Salcido. Brazil's only defeat this season came against Germany back in August. They're unbeaten in 10 since then. Work to do to continue that run. And the goalkeeper knew he was beaten. And Corona very grateful to see the deflection take that effort from Lucas Moura wide.
Well, he's certainly come on and made a big difference. Moura already a couple of shots on target. It comes back out to him. Second time, deflection just about takes it away from the goalkeeper.
Brazil's 7th corner taken short by Pato. By Neymar, I beg your pardon, and Marcelo made a mess of that. He's one of the overage players, Marcelo, along with Thiago Silva, 24 and 27 respectively. Olympic regulations allowing 3 players who are over the age of 23 in the squad. Danilo pushed by De Nigris. Guardado. Now Romulo, Oscar. Neymar. More patient build-up from the Seleção this time. Good turn by Neymar. Pato tried to turn as well. And the defending was good enough from Moreno, who's another who's had an excellent game. Neymar couldn't trick his way through. Maza Rodriguez emerges with possession and finds De Nigris. Juan with a vital interception on halfway. Stopped the through ball for Hernandez, which was another potential defence splitter. Neymar. Thiago Silva signalling across to the bench there that he's unable to continue, which is ominous as far as Brazil are concerned.
And that will certainly be a blow. Those experienced players going down, and let's hope it's just a precaution. He's getting off the pitch. Marcelo will now be captain, but
first change that's going to be made at this juncture is a Mexican one. It's Barrera who is coming off. And Edgar Andrade, who made his full debut against Wales last week, and delights in the middle name of Bismarck. You kind of know what kind of player he's going to be without even seeing him. If his middle name is Bismarck, on he comes. And, Brazilians will make the change as well. Could well be Bruno Avini who will be coming on to replace Thiago Silva. That would leave Brazil with one of their least experienced centre-half partnerships probably in the nation's history. Thiago Silva off and Avini on. That means that the two Brazilian centre-halves now have played 35 club matches between them. Bruno Avini had a loan spell at Spurs at the back end of this season. Won't be going back there. Spent 3 months on loan, didn't get a game. But has captained the Brazilian under-20 side on a number of occasions. Another foul on Hernandez, this time committed by Neymar.
Well, it wouldn't be so bad if he was coming into a side playing alongside of Silva, but both of them have had experience, and Juan certainly hasn't done himself any favours in this match so far. Certainly looked very experienced giving the ball away.
Here comes Neymar, and he was caught from behind. I think the referee's going to have a word with Carlos Salcido here.
Just the pace of Neymar when he gets that ball. You get some players that seem actually quicker with the ball than without it, and Neymar's one of those. When he picks it up, he gets it. He really does go full tilt, attacks the defenders, and Salcido there just had to give him a nudge.
Into the final 20 minutes. No shortage of set-piece exponents in this Brazilian side. Looks as though Hulk might tee this one up for Oscar, or go alone. It is Hulk. Easy for the goalkeeper in the end, who took just 2 or 3 hasty steps across his line.
Well, it's good goalkeeping because he read it well. Shuffled his feet across, comfortable save.
Andrade trying to make the run in behind Marcelo. Ball wasn't going to go out of play, he was forced to play it. And a dive by Neymar.
Goes unpunished. Almost getting up embarrassingly there. Fullback looking at him, saying, what's wrong with you?
He's looking rattled. Neymar, no doubt about that. Meza with the throw.
You have to give a lot of credit to Mexico. They really have defended stoutly, attacked well at times, at the right time, more importantly. Showed so much desire. They're certainly not fazed by this Brazilian outfit at all. They relish the one-on-one challenges out wide. They scored 2 goals to the good, and Salcido there, he really is showing all his experience and filling the gaps. And can they keep it going? Not too long to go now, but I just sense that Brazil will have to step it up even more. For all their approach play and all their good possession at times, they haven't had many shots on target, and that's what it's all about. It's about getting opportunities in front of goal, and Brazil just have not done that enough.
Romulo. Hulk. I don't know what you've made of his performance tonight, Tony. He's set to join Chelsea, of course, in a £38 million deal. As Cuadrado gives another free kick away.
Mixed, really. I think certainly he's a very good player. Clearly, you can tell technically very good, strong, nice and direct. But he's really fallen into the malaise of the rest of his teammates as well. They are rattled. I think certainly going a goal down, then 2 goals down. We wondered how they would respond. Well, they're not responding very well at all.
Neymar's free kick coming round the back, headed from Bruno Avini, and a good save from Corona. Juan with the left-footed effort, which was beaten away by the Mexican goalkeeper.
Well, I'm not sure what their centre-half defensive partnership is like, but going forward, the 2 centre-halves combined really well then. And Juan again with that left foot, that's 2 strikes. 2 on target at least.
Oscar. Marcelo. Good movement coming around the back. Good defending again. Torres Nilo, the player involved. Got between the 2 Brazilian players who were attacking the ball. I'm sure he won it.
Really was excellent play. I'm very impressed with him as the ball comes across. He's going to make sure he got there. Holt really probably should have talked to Pato and tried to get it himself, but not to be denied, the fullback.
Brazil still do have players to come back into this team. Dani Alves out at the moment with a collarbone problem. Here's Hernandez. That would have sealed it. As it is, Brazil still have that little bit of hope.
Well, he is a fantastic play. I think Denigris put him through. Hernandez always going to hit the target. You sense in those sort of areas, Chicharito will always make the goalkeeper work. He'll hit that target, and there, yet again, he did.
Here's Meza. Andrade losing out. 4 Mexican players unable to stop Neymar making his way forward. Good through ball towards Alex Pato, and again it's that man Torres Nilo back in the nick of time to clear. It was what Neymar is all about. Oscar. Good turn by Hulk. Good first time ball in as well. And inexplicably missed by Pato at the near post.
You've got to stick them away. It's a fantastic chance. And Hulk, great work down his left-hand side. Hard and low across that 6-yard area. Just touched the ball. It's in the back of the net. He gets no proper contact on the ball at all. And it's the only time they've managed to get in behind his Mexican defence. It's in the right area from Hulk, that man there. Just asking to be finished. The chance goes begging.
Hernandez makes way, and his day's work has been excellent, including a penalty, and he's replaced by Edgar Lugo, a defensive-minded midfielder who comes on for his 3rd cap. They've all seen him come off the bench, and that means I'm sure that Denigris will play up front on his own for the 12 minutes that remain. Bruno Avini. Oscar. Neymar. Confirmation of a change in the Brazilian side as well. The Wellington Nam, the young winger, coming on, and he's caught offside here. Fluminense player who's on for only his 2nd appearance for Brazil.
Morphy there. You see the ball going through. Just throwing half a yard offside, and I think Wellington Nam will go on this left-hand side, and Neymar will probably go more inside and try and get more involved and make things happen in that middle part of the pitch. Just not been enough, has it really, from Brazil? We only expect, I suppose, so much from them. They've had penalty, which should have been. A chance there, and it could have been back to 2-2, however, it's not, and probably don't deserve to be. I think Mexico really have played particularly well. But still 10 minutes to go. Still time.
There's Lucas Moura, who was full of running, the substitute, another player who Pele has been waxing lyrical about. Paulo Ganso, another very highly rated young Brazilian, is injured at the moment and unable to take his place in this squad. Is Danilo making his way forward from full-back, something that hasn't happened nearly often enough, really. Meza with the clearance.
I think that's right. I think certainly Brazilian teams always have flying fullbacks that really do make that extra man when they go forward. And that's poor from the goalkeeper. It really is poor. And Dani Alves, I think, has been a big miss. Because on that right-hand side, it just hasn't happened often enough. Because what that does do, it opens up, it takes another defender away and allows your front men then to try and get the ball in dangerous areas. If you don't make that run, they're easy to be picked up then.
Lugo. Andrade. Estrella Rafael. Oscar for Romulo. Danilo. Many Chelsea fans will be wondering about the non-selection of Ramirez into this side as well. His teammate Joseph Basing was saying it's a complete injustice that Ramirez isn't in this squad. Back from Wellington, Nem for Marcelo. Has a captain's armband now that Thiago Silva's gone off. And Neymar and Meza just scrapping with each other, and Meza pushing Neymar to the ground. He's going to be in real trouble here. You can't raise your hands. It might only be a friendly. He's saying it was just a cross-arm push. It certainly was, I think, below the face, almost to the Adam's apple rather than anything else, but can't have any complaints if this is a red card.
Stays on, he's going to be a lucky boy, does he?
Yellow card for Neymar. He's very fortunate.
I think initially it's the reaction, there's the push. I think we've missed a bit of that beforehand, but just pure frustration. You can't do that, you can't raise your arm.
Both Neymar and Meza getting yellow cards. Certainly the Mexican fullback a little bit fortunate that it wasn't more. Brazil scored twice in the last 10 minutes against Mexico the last time they played them. And it comes from Neymar. And the goalkeeper's handling was assured under pressure.
A little bit too high, wasn't it, the ball in, but I think going back to Ramirez, I think Chelsea will be delighted he's not picked, because Ramirez is a tremendous player, and I think they've been missing that sort of player today, Brazil, because I think Romulo in midfield, I don't think he's really done enough with the ball at his feet. He hasn't broken forward either, and just the energy that Ramirez gives, the size that he plays in is really exceptional, but I certainly think Brazil today not really shown enough. Individually, yes, but consistently producing enough chances for the strikers to feed off. I think you add to the fact, sorry, as well, that the two centre-halves and Juan in particular does not look comfortable out there at all. So maybe this is a wake-up call for Brazil coming to the Olympics. I think he's been plain sailing so far, but Certainly not on this occasion, and Mexico have a tremendous performance, and Guardado there's been very impressive as well.
So he comes off to be replaced by Angel Reyna, who's been recalled after a year out of the squad, the Monterrey midfielder. Poor kick from Rafael. Pato. Neymar. Attack well broken up by Lugo. Lugo right in front of the assistant referee, could see that he was onside. Denigris was his only target. He wasn't aware that he was under as much pressure from Marcelo as he was. Wellington Nem looking comfortable in possession for an international rookie. Neymar. A chip for the run from Lucas Moura, but they seem to have run out of ideas. In truth, they haven't really had too many ideas in front of goal since the first whistle.
They haven't, and that's extremely surprising. If you think of the supposed quality they've got up there, and individually in flashes they've looked dangerous, but what's their end product been? That's been the disappointing thing. Just hasn't been enough pressure, but give Mexico some credit. They really have defended particularly well, whether it's one-on-one or as a team, and confidence to get forward as well.
Excellent Mexican support. The vast majority of the crowd of just under 85,000 here in Arlington will be delighted with what they've seen. The perfect build-up for the World Cup qualifying campaign. Begins in earnest with games against Guyana and El Salvador. Another change will be made with Meza, who might have gone some way towards playing himself into the starting lineup. Those World Cup qualifiers. He comes off and is replaced by Israel Jimenez, who ostensibly is a centre-half, and he comes on for only his second cap. Neymar's ball through towards Alex Pato, a wee bit heavy. Only his fourth defeat since taking charge after Dunga stood down following Brazil's World Cup elimination to Holland. Mexico's first victory against Brazil since the 2007 Copa America in Venezuela. Chepa de la Torre will take a lot from it, no doubt about that. His team have been excellent by and large, and almost set the seal on it with a third goal there.
This was a fantastic save from Rafael Andrade. He launches it with his right boot. He almost sunk Brazil.
Good effort from the Bismarck. Reina's ball in. They'll play for another corner.
Even at this time of the game, they're still committing men forward. And very positive in their play, haven't they? They always look to attack, get midfielders to join the strikers as well.
Lugo. Reina still wide, having taken the corner, and he's done well to get past his man, although his cross wasn't as good as his run. Now Neymar. The last minute of the game, still purposeful and full of running and winning a free kick here. And this, I think, will be the 4th yellow card of the game.
Needed 2 to stop him. Zavala and Torres Nilo come together, and he does pick up pace with that ball at his feet. So it looks very good indeed, but couldn't get past. But what he has done is one inside a free kick in a dangerous area. Still a long way out.
And Torres Nilo getting the yellow card for the foul. Neymar. Again, not enough pace to cause problems for the goalkeeper from that range. Benigris and Reina offside. Reina just in a competitive game might have picked up the yellow card for that, for kicking the ball away when it was obvious that he was offside.
Well, we know this is a friendly, but we talked about the intensity of games. Well, I have to say, any game against Brazil is certainly intense, and this Mexican side have played it exactly right. I mean, this is, you know, full on 100%. Right to the very end. It's a great competitive game, and Brazil will have to get used to this clearly in the coming couple of years, but I think wherever they go, it's a big scalp if you beat Brazil.
And a moment that sums it all up really, with Neymar stumbling in a good position, and Mexico with one last chance on the counter-attack. The 2 minutes of stoppage time nearly up. Marcelo able to cut out the through ball. Conditions underfoot in Arlington getting increasingly difficult. The players falling down all over the place at the moment. Here's Pato. Barely time for one last Brazilian attack. The game beyond them now.
We've seen plenty of tricks, but no goals. And that's what it's all about. Maybe pleasing on the eye, but the end product is zilch.